DFC podcast, episode 2. I am Paolo, not Gully this week. I'm Paolo.
Oh, you got your name right, yeah?
I'm here with
Gully, done.
yeah.
The voice.
Got a
What's
special guest of us, man. He's in the building, man.
Mm-hmm.
Kai, Gym Guy Kai,
everything.
He goes by many names. How you doing, my bro?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. Good. It's good to get you on. Good to talk about it. Obviously, there's a lot coming up. We'll go into it. DFC 7, which is what Kai will be fighting on March the 2nd.
Yep.
Excited to get back on.
Yeah, I think I've got some redemption coming up on the next one.
Yeah.
So
we'll get into that, though. We'll get into that. Gully, man, I'm telling you, big shots. He does throw a lot of power, puts a lot of power in his shots. You said to me after the first one, though, you said like a lot of that camp you done was kind of on your own.
Yeah.
So this one, is it slightly different for you now, coach, or is it similar before, without giving too much away, obviously?
To be honest with you, I haven't really had a plan with anything, but there's a boxing gym that's just opened up not too far from me, and one of my old football managers has opened it. So I am planning to go down there, and it's all good and well me keep doing my own training, but I'm not going to improve without other people seeing, do you know what I mean? So I do need to get into an actual box gym rather than just sitting on YouTube and watching Fury fight or something like that.
Do you know what? Some people just let on the job, Gully.
It's true.
That's it, isn't it?
Sometimes you're a natural.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, bro. I'm come a bit closer to the right side. Cheers, bro.
Yeah. Cruiserweight is your natural weight per se, maybe. You dropped a lot for the fight. Obviously, you fought Scott Riley.
Yeah.
Fought him at light heavyweight, Gully. So I know you said to me you dropped quite a bit during that fight to go down to light heavy. Was that a challenge for you? Obviously, being and fighting at that weight. Because have you fought at that weight before?
I think every fight I've had has been anything between 82 and 91. I think the heaviest I've done is, I think, about 90 actually. But the issue is that I went on holiday like with my girlfriend and I come back 10 kg heavier, and there was that's what I'm saying, in a week.
That's that all-inclusive food, man.
Yeah.
Trust
you know,
me.
it was alcohol. That's what
word.
And I didn't plan to come back that much, and then I had one fight before the Don show, and I needed to drop I think 7 kilograms for that because I come back I come back 95, lost 7 to be 88 for the one that I won the belt. And then I had to drop another 5 within a month for DFC. So overall, I dropped 12 kilograms. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's mad though, because obviously, Gully, you've been a part of DFC, as we said in the last episode from the start.
Yep.
Stuff like that. And we should talk about it a little bit because it was a light heavyweight fight, the first one. But that division ever growing. Obviously, Kai's come into it now. Going between the two in terms of cruiserweight, light heavyweight, what is in terms of your aspirations? Is it something where like you want to fight on the DFC shows this year? But where do you want to try and push for a title now as the year goes on?
To be honest, with this whole boxing thing, it's never been a thing with me. I want to go in there and be like the baddest man in Abbey Wood or anything like that. It's just I'm in these fights to show people who've got mental health problems that you can go from here to here. So if a title chance comes up, say I win the rematch I win the match on 2nd of March or whatever, and then the opportunity comes up, I'm never going to say no to it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I would. If the opportunity is there, I'll take it. But it's not like my main aim. My main aim is my mental health message. That's what it is.
Can I just ask on that note, if we just pull it back a bit, because obviously for a lot of the viewers this might be their first time really getting to know you, really getting to see the person, behind the glove, so to speak, and that. And so like if you wouldn't mind just kind of quickly just giving us like, and me, 'cause obviously I'm meeting you for the first time as well today, like what is it actually that really got you into boxing, and how long have you been following that path, like doing the whole boxing thing?
Well, it all sort of stems from a long time ago. Like I'll have to shorten the whole story up. It started with when I was in school, got kicked out of school, both of my schools. Took a toll on my mum's health. My mum got depressed and my granddad died. She was out of work in depression and stuff. And then got to 16 years old, mum started going back to work, whatever. When I was 17, I basically was out with some of my friends where I live in Plumstead, used to live, and I had basically found a family friend take his own life in a park. I found him hanging there and he'd been there for 2 days. And I got like really bad PTSD from it, to a point where like if someone had committed suicide in a film, I'd break down, all my confidence went, I couldn't go into busy restaurants, like I couldn't leave the house without my friends coming to get me. It just ruined me massively. And then like one day I was just like, do you know what, I'm sick of this. And I said I'll do a charity game for the guy who I found hanged himself's 2 children. And then that just went really well. Created my football team, the People's FC. And then in our first ever game, one of my best mates growing up called Carl scored our first ever goal. And then 3 years ago from now, he was the first one out of all my mates to die. He committed suicide as well. And then his thing, he liked boxing. He had a few boxing matches. I used to do the football team for the guy I found hang himself. And then boxing is my thing for Carl. And then like marathons and that I do, it's always in memory of them. And then after Carl passed away as well, the guy who sponsored my football team, who was a friend of my family, has also committed suicide within about 2 months. So really the whole boxing thing just stems from me wanting to challenge myself and show people that you can beat your own mind. Do you know what I mean? That's my thing with boxing. That's a long story though, but yeah.
No,
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
very well put. That's deep. But I hear it.
Yeah, it's mad because pull it back a bit as well. So when you talk about, so obviously you box, which people are aware of and they've seen it, but you also do run a football team, which is doing quite well from what I understand.
Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right this season. Yeah.
Where are you sitting at the moment in the table?
Let's talk about like cups and stuff.
Yeah.
No, we was top, but then we lost 2 games and we've gone right down. But we've got games in hand and stuff. But
yeah,
we're doing all right this season. We're doing all right.
And more importantly, like, because you raise money through that as well, don't you?
Mm.
So whereabouts are you up to now with the money? Because I know it was quite, when we spoke before, it was quite a lot.
We're up to about 44,000 now that we've raised for loads of different things, loads of different causes and charities.
Yeah.
We're about, I think we're on 40. It's like 44,100 or something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's very well played.
Do you know what?
That's well played, man.
Yeah. Watching it as well, Gully, and stripping it back even more when I'm watching their content. He might take Donny's job commentating because he's doing a commentary on it.
I swear.
He's doing a commentary on the game.
I haven't done
Donny,
it in a while.
after your job.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in a while. We've got someone new.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah.
Busy man, can't do everything.
They
You know
can't
what I'm
do
saying?
I mean,
play football, run the channel.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm also top goal scorer this season.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
In the whole league.
And he's humble.
Yeah.
He's humble about it as well. Haaland, be humble, man.
You know?
Yeah.
Fair play.
Nah, but yeah, you obviously you have kind of spoke before as well, and because this is the Don's Fight Club podcast, just about obviously you're quite familiar with SE Dons as well, and that football side of it as well and what they do. But that was another thing I kind of noticed for you. It was like you kind of joined fighting on DFC, and then you used to watch a bit of SE Dons as well.
Yeah, so it's weird. So you've got like a few of the boys from like Drops, Doug. Like when I first walked into my family's gym where I work now, Doug was the first person to show me how to bench press when I was 14, and I met Drops in there as well. And then I remember the Don's first ever episode where it was Sil Benson headbutt. I remember watching it because I remember it because I remember Doug shared it, and I was like, oh shit, what's going on there? And I watched it, and in all honesty, I've probably like, you see, like when I'm indoors watching like my missus has made dinner and we see Don's, oh yeah, we watch it. Yeah. Not as much since they've gone into non-league, not as much, but all the Sunday ones, like when they beat Cortez, everything. Like, I've even been to games as well.
Flips was a manager for the Cortez game, innit?
Yeah. Remember? Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Nah, that's mad because obviously as well, Doug fought at DFC.
100%. I think. Yeah,
no one will forget that ring entrance.
The first one.
Yeah, no one will forget that ring entrance.
100%. He came man on a mission.
I was talking to him at the last show about it, and someone said, "You're gonna do it again?" And he went, "No way."
Do you know what? I think that might have been me that asked him. You know,
everyone asked him. Asked him.
Said to Doug, "Is it your last one and done?" Because I keep saying the same for G as well.
Yeah,
it's one and done.
Yeah.
And Donny as well, and a few of the boys that are on it. But I think because DFC's like you said before, right? You said it was the earlier DFCDs that saw predominantly a lot of the SE Dons members on it, but it's got to a point now, right, where we've got like a stacked card of fighters.
Yeah.
So, in the most respectful way, we don't need.
It's not dependent.
Yeah.
It's not so much dependent on that. I think that was very clever in terms of getting it going, building up a bit of buzz in the early days, and like it worked for the first 3 maybe. But then obviously, as more genuine fighters came into the fold, you thought, you know what, now like it's building up its own thing. And like you said, bro, now it's like a whole roster of fighters, bro. It's like a whole league now within itself, which is sick.
Yeah, it's mad. Like when you look at it like that, and from the outside looking in, so even if you're not fighting, because we will get onto the nitty gritty shortly of what we're here to do, but it is important to say, like, obviously you watching it as well. What are your thoughts on like DFC, just in terms of we on our 7th show in March? The shows have happened fairly quickly, Carly, innit? So in terms of how they've followed after each other,
pretty much every 3 months.
Yeah. So what are your kind of thoughts on it in terms of just the operation, how it's run, everything on it? Social media is a bit mad, like it's chaos on there, but it's good chaos. Do you know what I mean? I think it gives people exposure and it helps the fighters as well. How do you feel like seeing that side of it, especially looking at it as a fighter as well?
Do you know, I've fought on quite a few different shows now, and I regularly get asked from all sorts of shows, and I'm not just saying it because I'm on the podcast but the way that Dons do it is the best.
Yeah,
it's definitely the best. It's the most you can feel professional without being professional. That's the way that I would see it.
Yeah, and
the venue that they've done it at as well is superb.
Yeah,
like where you've got everyone around the top and at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I would say, like the way that Dons are doing it, it can only get better as well. It's definitely the best show I've done by far.
Yeah, because you fought obviously at Maidstone, so like even for you being in the ring, fighting, what was that atmosphere like for you? Just because I feel like that's a boiling pot.
It's like Thing. It reminds me of Thing, man. It's like Gladiator, bro.
In
the Coliseum, everyone's around. That's what it reminds me of.
Because that how much does that know? Like how much for you as a fighter do you notice that when you had a lot of support come out for you as well? Because we heard them. We literally heard them all like,
rightly so.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
That's probably my missus you heard the most.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah. But like for you, that cooking pot, that cauldron, does it, like on the night, the nerves, the pressure of going into the ring, I think I speak, any fighter I've spoke to, amateur or professional level, that the nerves really kick in when you're walking to the ring. Be it if you're fighting in a gym, if you're fighting at the O2, it doesn't matter, yeah? But the nerves is that last walk when you're going to the ring, because now everything, it's just you go into the ring, you're working your way down, you're in your own thoughts, and you've got that crowd. How much does it add? Is it adding nerves for you? Like, do you feel it, or you just brush it off?
Do you know what? With anyone that says that they're not nervous, they're lying. They're absolutely lying. I wasn't very nervous on the day. Once I got there, once I got in a venue and I walked about and that, I weren't that nervous. The most nervous I was like I was in a hotel only 10 minutes down the road. That's when I was nervous. Like I didn't say a word to my missus for about 3 hours. I was just sitting there, just playing UFC. That's all I was doing. So I wasn't too bad, and I definitely lost all my nerves once I did my ring walk.
Really?
Yeah, all my nerves kind of went out the window then. Because even then I was joking about when I walked into the ring and stuff. So I was like, all right, cool, I'm all right now. But before I actually got to the venue, I was thinking like, what have I got myself in for? What am I doing? Why am I doing this again? You said last time was the last one. Like, that's what I say. Every one I say, that's it, last one.
I know he's fighting on March the 2nd.
Yeah, I'm fighting twice in March as well.
See?
Crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it gets like that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, obviously, I missed the last DFC due to illness, which is really unfortunate because, like Paolo said, I've seen every single one of them. And so I haven't actually been fortunate enough to see the footage of your fight. Obviously, I've just spoken to people who were there and kind of got an idea of how it played out. But you know what you just said about your ring walk? You said how, like, all the nerves kind of just came out of you once you headed down there. Were you the first fighter out in your fight, or was Scott already in the ring?
I was first.
Came out first.
I was first.
Okay, I just wondered.
Yeah.
Is that obviously a lot of people don't fight, will never fight, and will never know what that's like. But is it less nerve-wracking when there's nobody in there, you're the first one in, more so than someone's already waiting in there for you?
I'm quite superstitious, and my first ever loss was the first time that I went in
Second.
second.
So you prefer to walk in
prefer to
first?
walk in first.
Since.
Was it the other way around? Yeah, that's the first time. So then,
Yeah.
now every time I do it, I'm like, oh no, like, is it going to be bad luck again?
Because if you become champion,
You champion,
that's the
you
second.
and you got a choice.
Or
You
he
have
just
no
says,
choice.
"I'm walking first."
Can you? I've
Do
never
what you
seen it.
want.
I've never seen
I've
it.
never seen it, but you could.
I
I'm
feel
sure
like
you
as a
could ask.
champion, you should go. Listen, like, I feel a bit
That's how I
lucky
want
if I
it.
do that. Can I go out when I want? Like,
Yeah, and
surely-
I'm pretty sure they'd accommodate for it. Flips.
Yeah. Well, BFC would, I'm sure. You get
Yeah.
me? Makes sense, though.
No, it makes sense because do you know what? Superstitions are a real thing, you know. Like you've got certain ways you do it. You look at footballers, you look at boxers, they've got their superstitions.
Roll up a bit of tape inside my left boot and all this, and like, I've heard all stuff.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst of it. Football, I wear the same socks. I wear them the same way.
Yep.
Grip socks. I have to do everything. So with boxing, I'll probably do more things than what I'm thinking of, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I always, when I warm up as well, I always warm up with my gum shield in. But I never do that any other time. Because I've done that once, I now do that every fight. And yeah, like then I'm even just thinking of one now. So I've probably got 20 other ones that I do that I don't even realise.
It's mad. But we got. I have to ask you about it because we were starting to speak about it off camera. This has got to be done in front of camera. Yeah. This is a completely real podcast. Everyone's things and that, and I think from a place of let's talk about the fight because Scott Riley and Kai went to a decision which Scott Riley took. You're obviously saying you won. I need to just ask you because look, I'm happy to on camera give my opinion of the whole fight. I watched it from start to finish. I have watched some of it back, so I think when you can watch stuff back, and I watched it on mute as well because I'm sorry, Gully, but
Okay, you don't want to
he's
be
a
swayed.
commentator. He's a commentator, Gully, innit?
Man,
So
many
like,
hats on, yeah.
I feel like when you watch it with a commentary and the crowd, it might sway you in a different way. If I was listen, I'll tell you something now though. His fans turned up because when he was fighting, I was looking up, looking left, looking right. They were everywhere.
Right.
Near the ring, up on the balcony, like. And so, like you said, your missus was probably making
Yeah, she was making emotional
noise. But I've got to ask you as well. Look, let's not beat around the bush here. You're fighting Scott again on March the 2nd. Yeah, I need to ask you. You thought you won that first fight. Am I not wrong in saying that? I think we seen it on social media afterwards. Anyway, day or two later.
All I'm gonna say is I had random people that I don't even know messaging me saying I don't know how you won. There was a group chat of like some of the fighters that was in there, like they were all in a different group chat. They was all talking about it. One of my pals is in that. They all screenshotted it and said, Kai's been absolutely robbed.
It's interesting because I like talking about it, and I can't go into too many details. But from my point of view, I looked at it and I had you win in the first round, and I said for me the only things that might have gone against it, and I'm saying this in front of you on camera, is a respectful thing, is you had more power in the fight, but I feel like maybe the ref was looking at certain punches landed like little cheeky shots, which Scott did pull off, but it's how the ref judges it because the ref judges round to 3. Obviously, the ref in the ring is a licensed professional, licensed level 2 or 3 coach, I think he is, boxing coach. So he's very experienced, but it was a mixture of some people said you won. And for me, like you said, I heard some people say the other way. But this is what the second fight's for, though. Because I can understand from your point of view the frustration maybe where you've got everyone coming to you saying you won. And then you're going to watch the fight back soon and you're going to be like, okay, I'll have a look. But then also I can understand from the point of even though that's done now, like you've moved on, you've played many football games since, you're going to box twice in March. The redemption for March the 2nd is what it is for you. Like it or not, that is it. You're seeking redemption. That motivated you anymore because
Yeah, I feel like I've got a lot more pressure on. The first one, it was like there's not much pressure on it. Do you know what I mean? This one, if I win the rematch, for me, it shows I've won the first one. So that's going to end up being like it's not a 1-win fight for me now.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a 2-win fight, and it's the same for Scott. Because if he don't win this one, it's going to show that he lost the last one. So then it's going to end up being either 2-0 to him or 2-0 to me. That's the way I see it. And then we might have to do a third one, no matter what way it goes. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, because if Kai wins, you don't like me saying this, but it's 1-1. It is 1-1. Officially it's 1-1. So I'm saying then you've got the trilogy. Fury and Wilder done 3. Fury and Wilder done 3.
Yeah.
But it's a really hard thing, yeah, because I think people can speak from, but like you say, people can have a lot of come from a place of respect. And I come from a place of respect in, like, I thought you and Kai put on such an entertaining fight for everyone. You and Scott, you're Kai. I put an entertaining fight on for everyone. So like I feel like even though a decision aside at the end of it, I feel like as more importantly as well, the fans got to see a good fight, a tear up. You didn't have the decision that you wanted, but ultimately as well, I think it was a good advert for DFC in terms of the fight. The decision Kai, I know, is not happy about, but
interesting dynamic though, because obviously put Scott in a somewhat interesting position, because obviously he came off the back of 2 straight losses to Kaydan, and obviously he went into the DFC before this one with the mindset of, all right, I'm trying to redeem it and whatnot, and obviously that's not what happened. Obviously I thought the second one was a little closer than the first one, but still I think, clearly like Kaydan took it. And I think even for him coming into DFC 6, basically 2 losses on the trot, I think he came in probably thinking, flipping hell, like 3 strikes, I'm out, like, or do you know what I mean? Like, so obviously I really need to see this fight, because it's all well and good hearing everything.
What happened?
I take in everything that everyone says,
yeah.
But just personally, like I just really just want to see how it played out and stuff, because I just knew. I know for his, obviously, I hadn't had the opportunity to meet you yet, Kai, but obviously with him, Scott, we had a sit down prior to his fight with Kaydan, right? And so I remember knowing, I didn't know you, but I said, he's going into that fight like flipping. I've basically got to kill him or die, basically, like.
Yeah, I mean,
But the thing is like this, no matter. Obviously, I understand what you're saying and your take on it, and obviously Paolo kind of isn't so much really going against that at all. I think it's mad because Kaydan lost that same card as well.
Do you know?
So it's like even Kaydan was like the boogeyman and he lost. So it's just like, what is going on, bruv?
Do you know what it is? And I wanted to say it to you on the pod because I don't want people to think that, like how people can have opinions and stuff like that. I'm so blunt as a person. Like I thought definitely like that we could sit here and talk about the fight for an hour. We really can. But I'm more excited. I feel like even though the result might not have gone your way, the second fight is 20 times bigger than the first one because of what happened.
Yeah, of course.
So I feel like this fight, there's more to this fight than there is the first fight. Yeah. That's what I feel. And I feel like for that reason, maybe warranted or not warranted, or he's wanted it or not wanted it, but it's adding pressure because now, for not Kai's not feeling the pressure, but from, I'm saying like the pressure of DFC to deliver this show because now we've got a big fight.
100.
Some people's eyes, it's a controversial decision that has gone against Kai. Some people in the arena might have said Scott won.
Sure.
So now we see it again, which is the main thing.
I think that's the best way.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
Do you do anything different in the second fight? Because I'm not going into too much tactics of it and stuff like that, but I remember watching the first one and the first round you come out like powerful shots. And I said this to Scott afterwards. I said to him, first round, you was hitting him with hard shots, and that is the thing, is taking too much of that damage can, for any fighter, the risk is being knocked out. Yeah. So do you think as well, for you, now you've had that experience, you've been in the ring with Scott once already, do you box differently, box a bit smarter, anything that kind of makes you think different, or just going to say?
Like, I'm never going to sit here and say like, I'm really good at boxing.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just a brawler. Yeah. That's what I am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few things that, like when I've watched back, I've gone, okay, cool, do that a bit different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in all honesty, win or lose, me and Scott were on the booze after. He bought me a drink last time. I'll buy him one.
That's it. I feel like, do you know what I feel like this is? Honestly, without, obviously, it's very different, but it's not. I feel like, no, it's very different, but it's not. I feel like this is like, without some of the animosity, this might be our Conor Ben and Chris Eubank Jr. Yeah, without half of the animosity, family history, but because of how big that fight is, this fight I feel like is like that.
I see what you're saying.
Because you know what as well, you're talking about this fight and you've got main events in terms of, you've got the main event obviously fight, Rio Wong's fighting on main event, but we've got main event fights on the undercard now.
For sure.
I feel like this is a main event.
Agreed.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like I feel like on another month this could potentially be its own card. Obviously it's worked out how it's worked out, but I feel like we're seeing more main events on the card because we watched some great fights on the night. I don't know how many fights you got to see, but there was some good fights on the night as well. And yeah, like I said, for you, it's just more locking in now, isn't it? Like to that date. I know you're not trying to. I'm getting the vibe. It's like.
What are you trying to squeeze out of him?
I'm trying to get to
what
say.
What is it you're trying to squeeze out?
I'm trying to squeeze out.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like you're being very respectful, but I can tell you're frustrated. This is why I think.
No, do you know the only thing that frustrated me is like we was sweet after. We was absolutely fine. And then I posted my bits on social media when I've got random people messaging me saying there's no way you lost. He's unfollowed me, man. He unfollowed me on Instagram. What's that about? I said happy birthday the other day, ignored me. I just think it ain't got to be like that. Just go, yeah, mate. Like, thank you. I can't wait to punch you in the face for a second. You know, like that. It ain't got to be like that. Do you know what I mean? That's the only thing I'm a bit like.
This is Chris Eubank and Conor Ben. This is Chris Eubank and Conor Ben.
I just think there's no need to unfollow me. I just think that's a little bit childish.
Oh, God.
Do you know what I mean? Regardless, look, he got me a drink last time. I'll get him one this time. But, yeah, it's just, I don't think he needed to do that, in all honesty.
It's mad because I'm going to ask you a question now. And we've got what we got out of Kai. So, in terms of.
You got me, didn't you?
Just a little.
You got me.
You needed something.
No.
No. But I've got to ask you, though. Like, honestly, the second fight, do you think that, obviously, are you going in there to, because of what's happened in the first fight, are you going in there to not let it get to a decision? Is it your intention to go in there? Do you think too much about that? I know you don't think too much about the way you probably go in boxing, but because of what happened in the first fight, are you worried about it going to a decision again?
Definitely. I definitely am worried about it going to a decision because Scott's one of Vesey Don's boys as well. That don't help, no matter what anyone says. That don't help anything.
I don't have no chill, you know.
I haven't. I don't need it.
No chill.
And that's obviously going to sway things. But then at the same time, I don't want to... I'm not here to go and say, yeah, I'm going to knock him out and do this. Because I'd prefer if neither of us got knocked out.
Yeah,
but I'd prefer it in the way of...
You want to come out healthy.
I want us to both come out healthy and I win.
You just outboxed him.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah,
no one wants to hurt each other and like they're not able to go and carry on about their day. I get it.
Yeah, I don't want that. Like, you have to have a day off work Monday or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want that. But like the way it went last time, it's kind of got to be like that, in my opinion. Because like you said, people are gonna have different opinion on the fight. Yeah, it could be from what I've seen, from what people are saying, is 80% of the people I've spoke to, people that I don't even know, have said I've won, and then other people haven't. So whatever people's opinion of it is. I know that in my head, I might have to try and do something to sway the judge's decision. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying I don't want to say knockout. That's not the way I'm not here to knock anyone out. Do you know what I mean? But I'm going to have to do something to make the decision go my way.
You're going to have to knock him out.
I don't want to knock anyone out. I just want to go have a fight.
You could just win every round.
Or win every round comfortably.
Just win every round.
But again, and I will say this from a point of view of that it's difficult because... Scott is probably more of a natural boxer in terms of obviously what he does. Sure. So it is not easy to just go and win every round against, like you say, someone who's a natural boxer. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's a lot more to it than that.
Sure.
Okay, knockout's probably the wrong word, but I feel like in this fight, maybe from what you're saying, I'm getting that you're going to try and stop him, innit? But stop him's probably a better word.
Okay, yeah, let's go with stop him.
Early
stoppage is a better word. But, you know, that aside, surely, I've got to say this, though, that the publicity that it's got, afterwards, good and bad. All publicity is good publicity, Gully.
Yeah.
And it's built the fight up for a second one. That's why we're here again. Have you already started in terms of how long have you been training for this?
To be honest with you, I didn't really stop training from the last one, just because it weren't too long after that I knew the rematch was like I got told.
Yeah.
It was like, I swear to God, I got the text that, let's say 1:05 p.m. I replied at 1:05 p.m. going, yes.
He's on his phone already.
Yeah.
He's ready.
I've been waiting for the text since the end of the fight. I was waiting for the rematch.
Yeah.
I was waiting because I knew the way that it went in a show like this. I knew that the best thing for
That show and everyone,
the show
the
for me,
fighters,
for Scott, is a rematch.
Yeah.
It's the best thing for all of us, really, is a rematch.
Because on your hand, it gives probably, and Gully, you can agree with this, but on your hand, it gives you a chance to redeem yourself. And then on Scott's hand, on Scott's scenario is that he can put the doubters to bed.
Yeah.
So that is literally it. If whatever happens. But
That's true.
Gully, you've got honestly the build up for this one is mental because the first one was you done a massive. I have to highlight it as well. After the fight, you spoke a lot in the ring about mental health. Very important and really, despite what had happened in the fight, he took the mic and just said what you said. Obviously, it's on the DFC page. You can see it on the reels. But that was I got to commend you for that because I feel like it's so easy to walk out the ring in a moment of disappointment and just go.
Yeah.
But you stood there and you remembered why you're there. That's the more important thing, right?
To be honest with you, win or lose, I was doing that.
Yeah.
Win or lose, because I was supposed to do it in my last fight, but in all honesty, I just got a bit nervous and I didn't do it.
Fair
So
play.
I was like, this one, look, like I'm on a platform that is as big as the Dons have got it. Do you know what I mean? And that message got put out not only on DFC, I believe it was on Don's page as well, and that's going to be viewed by 100,000. And if one person views that who is in a really bad place and goes, you know what, I'm going to go for a run, and in 6 months' time, they've ran 300 times. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole point of that message. It doesn't matter if it helped one person, it doesn't matter if it helped 100. That's why I done that message, win or lose. And there'll always be a message. What I'm doing is a message.
You have to rate that. Like, you have to rate that.
That side of it is like a really serious thing. And obviously, as we was talking earlier on about the reasons you got into the football or started the football team, the boxing, it is a really, really, very real issue. I think mental health is actually. I was on a show last week talking about this, and mental health is probably up there in terms of deaths in the UK, just behind cancer. Suicide.
Yeah.
It's mad. It's mad. Like that is how high it is. And it's specifically men as well, but suicides in general, and obviously men cover for the probably large proportion of suicides in the UK. There's a percentage of women as well, because it's to highlight both. It doesn't just happen to men; it does happen to women as well. But when you're specifically talking about the men's statistic, it's not far off cancer-related deaths.
That's crazy.
It's mental, isn't it?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I'll send you the thing afterwards. Where I saw it, honestly, I had to look twice. I couldn't believe it. So I have to big you up because it's a big thing to go and do that and just win or lose.
Especially if a fight didn't go your way, and just as a human, bro, like you naturally just might.
You want to flip out.
Yeah, like you just might not be. You might not be in the mood. It's like I've done a lot of the post-fight in-ring interviews from DFC 1 till now, and sometimes a man's just not in the mood. You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't want to talk, and I hear it, but at the same time, it is good to give a little something, because at the end of the day, the more I speak to fighters, the more I realise what people are actually going through, bro, and what they've actually been through, and where this is all coming from. And it's like a lot of people are fighting real battles, like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people go through it and don't tell nobody. A lot of people feel like they're gonna look a certain way if they talk up, but I think when people like yourself and others, even Lee Cook, others, when they talk up on this stuff, I think it really helps, bro. I think it really does, man.
Yeah, because a couple of the boys on the show have highlighted it massively. So I got to give a big up to all of you, man.
I think this is going to become a bit of a staple of the pod. It was interesting last episode, but what we would like, if you wouldn't mind, is I believe your top 5 boxers, not in any order, but just your top 5 boxers of all time. present, past.
All time, yeah.
Yeah.
Not in any order.
Are we saying like what I prefer? Or
Yeah, what your preference is.
Okay.
Yeah, your 5.
Straight off, Hagler.
Yeah.
Straight off.
That's on his Instagram, that is.
Hagler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fury.
Yep.
I like Klitschko. I've always liked Klitschko. AJ, because of what he done for boxing, I think he
revived British boxing.
Yeah, he revived British boxing.
And
yet again, for what he done for British boxing, Amir Khan.
Amir Khan don't get enough credit.
That's
you know?
what I'm saying.
Honestly, like Amir Khan went over to America, doing what he was doing, the fighters he was fighting, but people really just give banter about his chin. No, seriously, people talk about his chin, but then like people don't know that Canelo fight. He moved 2 weights up to fight Canelo. Like you're fighting Canelo 2 weights up.
Yeah.
That's what got me in. Him and Hatton were the people that got me into boxing when I was
Ricky
younger.
Hatton was that was a big boxer, big British boxer, man.
That's a sick 5 though. That's a sick 5. There's a lot of names didn't come up.
I feel like it's quite a unique one because everyone will go for the basic ones.
You know, innit?
Like with me, it's with Hagler. He's my favourite because there's a video of him where he's running through like the sand dunes, and there's one when he's like, what's he say? I can't remember it. He's like, can't think about it, gotta do it. And when I'm running, sometimes I leave that one video on and just listen to that as I run.
That's mental.
Yeah, for the whole run, I just listened to him saying that. So that's why he's like, and he was just the epitome of discipline, and that's why I like him. Yeah. That's why he's my favourite.
Nah, yeah, I hear it, man. I hear it. It's interesting because obviously, like I said to you, I know we've linked your fight to the likes of Chris Eubank, Conor Benn, yeah. But there's some. It is though, but you can understand because of the thing in it. But it's like it's big fights in professional boxing coming out now. I want to ask an off the cuff question, Gully. Yeah, I'm going to ask him this question.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Like for boxing for you as well, but as a fan, professional boxing, how much do you think has changed in the last 5 years? Because we look at the introduction of the Saudis, we look at the introduction of the joint cards. So for you as a fan, what like seeing all these different things happen now, all these mad cards where like top to bottom is stacked with entertaining fights for the punters to watch, draws the casuals in, draws the whoever in. How do you think that's changed? And that trickles. Do you think that trickles down to even the level you fight at? Because even with the level that we're at now, you're seeing the joint shows. None of that would have happened if it weren't for the pros. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So do you think it's changed massively in the last 5 years?
I think it's definitely changed for the better and for the worse. You've got the Saudis coming in, and they're actually making the fights that we want to see. Before there was too many, like Anthony Joshua and Fury, they should have fought 4 years ago. With the Saudis, that can now happen. But then at the same time, you've got misfits and that. What they're doing is actually great. But you've got people on there that are now acting like professional boxers. And like I've said, I'm not a great boxer at all. But I would hurt 90% of them on there. And they're acting like they're professional boxers. If people say to me, you're that kid that boxes, I go, no, I don't box. I'm not a boxer. I'm just someone who stands in the ring and swings. That's what I am. Do you know what I mean?
You're a fighter, bro.
I'll try.
You're a fighter.
He's too humble with that.
He's
too humble with that.
With control. You're a controlled fighter. Like you're not reckless.
Yeah. I hear it though. Like I feel like Misfits has its own space in boxing, but should never ever be classified as professional boxing.
No, it's more like showbiz.
Yeah. And that's fine. That's fine. It can I don't have a problem. Do you know what it is? I'm not one of these like dinosaurs who's like, don't put it on TV. Like, I think for what it does, it's good, and it does help professional boxing properly because what it does is it introduces a new fan base, and then that fan base will start watching boxing fights. So there is like a trickle effect, but I do think it's in his own space. But I'm even saying, like, I'll say it on camera now, I even think that the DFC shows, if we put 5 or 6 fighters on a card against 6 Misfits fighters, I think we'd absolutely do them. 6 of DFC's best, Gully, against 6 of Misfits.
You could pick 6 out of a hat as well.
Yeah.
I swear to God, you could have 6, you could have every DFC fighter in a hat versus Misfits 1, 2, 3, and you could pick them out of a hat and you'd still beat them. Like Misfits would still lose. Misfits will fall. They would. Yeah.
There's an element of it where they're a bit of a. I'm not keen on obviously the less, but then, like I said to you, I respect the space that it's in, and I respect what it does. What they turn over in terms of numbers is a joke, but they're in their own space. It's influencer boxing, isn't it? So yeah,
I think I think as long as people just kind of stay within their boundaries, in a sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I like the fact you said that DFC is very professional for what it is and where it's at. It's like it is as professional as it could be. Yeah. I think that if you're somebody who is an influencer or a celebrity or someone who's built that level of following and you want to kind of pivot into fighting, that's cool, but don't like it's like, we know you're not really a boxer, basically. Like, we know you're not really a boxer, and we know in a fight with a real boxer you will get a pasting. Like, we know this. Like, so, like, it's almost like Jake Paul. I'm not even trying to go too far off the topic, but Jake Paul, it really me off, because it's just like, bro, like, it's entertaining. You make loads of money. I hear it. But you're fighting people that are beyond over the hill. Like, that's all you do. Like, it's like, good for you. Yeah, good for them. They make a bit of money. Good for everyone. But, it doesn't make you the guy, bro. Like, you're not the guy. Like,
Mike Tyson got 20 million for that fight.
You're not the guy. Like,
do you know, it is, for entertainment purposes, it is good, but it's the same thing as, like, if I was to start sprinting, but I only sprint against 8-year-olds.
That's what I'm saying.
And
like,
because I win that race, I now go, I'm the fastest man in the world.
Like race Usain Bolt 10 years from now.
Yeah,
and then beat him in 2035.
Give him 30 years. Say Usain Bolt, all these 80 years old, and I race them and I beat them, and I then go, I am the fastest man in the world.
There you go. I beat
That's
the
what
fastest
it's
man in the
like.
world. Literally.
That's what it's like. I've never heard that analogy, but it makes so much sense.
I think that's the perfect way with Jake Paul and stuff. And the thing is, well, look, Jake, if you see this somehow, I'm not trying to fight you, you'll beat me up. But what I'm saying is, you're not a professional boxer.
No. Talk your talk. Jake Paul, if you see this, come and fight Kai.
All right, I'll say.
Bread for that.
Yeah, I'm earning the money there with that one.
Yeah. If you see this, come and fight Kai, man. Nah, I'm joking. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying, though. And then in terms of like even the level, like, I feel like semi-professional boxing. I don't like calling it unlicensed boxing. It's because I feel like unlicensed boxing makes it sound unprofessional, and I feel like when you turn up to the shows, you get a medical, you've got your change, you get everything ready. There's refs there, there's medics on standby. At some of the shows in the past, obviously we've had like judges and stuff like that around the ring, ref in the ring. Show dependent, obviously, is what we can offer, but everything about it is professional.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would call it semi-professional boxing. I think is the best way to put it, right?
There's a lot of like, people frown upon when you say semi-professional boxing, and I think it's because of the way football is. Because people think you play semi-pro football, you're this and that. But yeah, no one's ever gonna go, all right, cool, semi-pro boxing is better than amateur boxing, because it's not. It's not what it is. That's the official ranking to get to where you want to go in boxing is amateur ranking. But there's definitely an audience for semi-pro boxing rather than amateur boxing.
I think because it's the bridge gap between, because obviously you've got to look at it like this. Fabio Wardley come from white collar. Now had no amateur experience. He was a white collar boxer. Then turned professional. Now look at where he's at now.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's proper.
So yeah. So I feel like what this level does is it allows the fighter to sell tickets, get clause some of the costs back or whatever, be it they put into food, diets, gym membership, whatever they're doing to train for that fight, right? And let's not have it right. Deservedly so, they're putting themselves in the ring. They might make a little bit on top for themselves. Nothing wrong with that, yeah, or a lot on top, depending on how many tickets you sell. But I also think that the amateur scene, the semi-professional scene, allows fighters, even at the top end at a good level, that can't turn over to pro, because turning pro is really not easy. You've got, on one hand, you need amateur experience. That's what the board will look at. On the other hand, you will need social media. You need a following. You need to be able to show that you can sell, a promoter that you can sell fights. So if you'll be doing that at a semi-pro level, you build the fights up like Kai, when he has people turn up for him.
Sure.
I'm telling you, it was
In
a lot.
droves.
You're going to see it on 7.
That's the least I've had at a fight, by the way.
That's ridiculous, because that was like half the room. No, I'm being serious. Like,
that's cold.
So I'm saying, like,
That's cold.
You have the best example is Callum Simpson, the boxer who fights for Boxer. He is from Barnsley, small town.
Yeah.
Whole town turn up for him. He'll arrange coaches from Barnsley to the venues for the fights. They go there, they pay the tickets. It's one example in terms of communities coming together, but my point I'm trying to make is you need a fan base to go pro.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think and consistently as well. So if you are able to, what semi-pro boxing offers you is like you say, that thing to feel professional and sell tickets and
definitely
fight in probably big crowds. You've probably how many bouts have you had?
7.
7.
But one show, it was a white collar one.
Yeah.
There was I think 4,000 people there.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
That was crazy.
That's a lot still.
That was crazy.
White collar boxing is a big business as well because they sell the tables. It's the meals.
Yeah, I went to one in Brighton.
Oh, is it?
Done security at one in Brighton still. Yeah.
Yeah, that one 4,000, and I walked out because like on that show you normally walk through the crowd, and this one I walked through it, and that song Robbie Williams' "Angels" was on, and everyone was singing it, and I was like,
"Oh God,
this is mad! This is so mad."
Mental.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying to you. I feel like, and I know we're gonna finish shortly, but I feel like fighting in front of 4,000. I've presented and done in-ring stuff in front of maybe the most I've probably done it for at a boxing match is probably 2,000, 2,500, and that was in Crystal Palace. But it was in and out, so you could argue that there was probably not 2,000 there, but that was what the venue sold. It was full, but I would say people coming in and out. That's probably the biggest crowd that I've had to presenting on. We had Joe Egan in the ring. Joe Egan's pulled up in the ring. Everyone's sat in. Yeah, try and do an interview with Joe Egan, because if he wants the mic and you've got them telling you don't give him the mic, if he's got the mic, trust me, he's taking it off you. He's taking it off you.
Yeah, you ain't stopping him. I just wouldn't bother. I'd go get to stay here.
Yeah,
it ain't worth the hassle.
But I felt the nerves, so I can only imagine from your point of view, fighting, you've got to just tuck all of that away so you're able to box.
You know what? I'm not trying to sound like I'm some wannabe hoodlum or something like that, but from when I've had fights when I was younger, there's so much more danger in having a fight on the street than there is in a controlled boxing match. So for me,
that's not the first time I've heard that.
Do you know what I mean? So for me, as scary as it is, you're going into a ring with someone trying to take your head off. It could be worse.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it could be worse.
Yeah,
that's my thing with it.
That's a good note to end on, man. Cully.
Yeah.
Kai's on the podcast. Obviously, he's fighting on March the 2nd. Excited to watch it. After this, are you more excited?
I'm very excited because I'm excited because Scott's my guy, but I don't mean he's my guy like you're not my guy. Shit, I met you, you're a cool guy. Maybe you're my guy now as well. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like, everyone could be my guy, but I'm looking forward to it massively, bro. Absolutely looking forward to it because at the end of the day, I just know for him over there, it's like, mate, first fight, loss. Second fight, loss. Third fight, arguably, debatably, win. And now it's like, okay, have you turned things around now? Are you now heading further up? Are you looking to get into title conversation?
Yeah.
Or was that one win just a bit of a glitch in the matrix and we're about to lose? Yeah, he's going to hand him the L and then he can get back to losing. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's what we'll find out.
Like, is it a one-off or are you really turning it around? We're going to find out.
Yeah, we will going to find out.
We're going to find out.
Regardless, I think it's going to be a great fight. I think people watching it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah.
And more importantly as well, hopefully they have a drink afterwards.
No, we will.
We'll
regardless.
see.
Regardless, might have to get flips on that pay-per-view thing with this fight now, the way that it's going. So flips.
100%.
Flips, it's that camera there.
Might
You
need to
look
face
at
off.
that camera and just tell him.
Flips, getting pay-per-view now as well. Me and Scott are this way out.
Yeah, I hear it.
And that will
man.
go towards a drink afterwards.
That's what I'm saying. DFC got to
DFC
sponsor
will
them.
get-
They got to sponsor them drinks, man.
Donny,
DFC, come on, man.
I'll tell you what, Donny we'll speak to Donny about that. We'll get the Maggie sponsored. Something.
Listen,
It's just
Magnums
anything.
as well. Gee.
Yeah.
Listen,
Sweet.
something for the guys, man.
Yeah.
Honestly.
In the ring afterwards, take the gloves off.
Yeah,
Forget
man.
all the ref. Hang on, before you announce, if
Yeah.
it goes to that,
Yeah.
if it doesn't end in the stoppage, before you announce, if you announce 2 Magnums, there you go, mate.
And if it's a draw, whoever downs it first wins.
Ah,
I'll know I'll win that one.
That'll
I'll
be
win
the
that one.
tiebreaker. There
That'll
you
be
go.
the tiebreaker.
That'll
That'll
be
be
the
the
tiebreaker.
tiebreaker.
Yeah.
No,
Can you
100%, man.
Nah, man.
100%.
Listen, where can people find you on social media as well? Because plug your social media as well.
Everywhere, it's just Gym Guy Kai. And my football team's thing is the People's FC.
Yes.
That's everywhere as well.
Yep.
Don't follow me. Follow my football team. That's where the real work is, my football team. That's where we do stuff for mental health, for little Rosie who's got cerebral palsy, where we do things for the guy I found, hangs himself to children. Don't follow me, follow the People's FC. help us keep doing all the great charity work we do. I don't care if you follow me. I want you to support my team. That's what I want.
Is there a link to, are people able to just donate if they just want to show support, just want to show love? Is there a way they can just like contact?
At the moment, the only thing I've got is I'm running London Marathon a month after DFC. If anyone wants to donate to that, it's all going towards Tommy's charity, which is a baby loss awareness charity. And I'm running in memory of the guy who is the manager of the People's FC's daughter, who passed away at 8 days old.
Wow.
So that's what I'm running London Marathon for.
You've got a lot of. I will say one thing: you've got a lot of motivation to do well externally. That is very clear, and I feel like even more so. This fight on the 2nd of March is going to be massive.
Yeah. Bro, it's proud, like, you're a really impressive guy, bro. Like before the episode ends, I'll just tell you, like man to man, you're an impressive guy, bro. Because at the end of the day, let's just cut the crap, bro.
100%.
The majority of the things that I've heard today would send most people down. Sorry, Don's sponsors would send most people down the flipping. You know what I'm trying to say? What is it I'm saying? Like when downward spiral. That's what I'm trying to say. It would have sent people down a downward spiral. And it's like really and truly, like you're doing more. Like you're doing more than a lot of people I know that ain't been through nothing. I've been through nothing, bruv. I ain't doing half the stuff.
People like you, and there are people like you that do what you do. And speaking about yourself, you're probably doing more for people than. This is where me getting a bit political with it now. But you're probably doing a lot for people than more than what some of the services that are supposed to be there and put there by the government do for people on a whole. Which I can tell you now. Has a lot of flaws, and people like Kai expose these flaws in what they do because of how much you do. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You probably know anyway.
Trust me.
No, definitely big up. Get me, and I'm sure you're inspiration to many, bro. Probably more people than you even know yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? But
hopefully, as well, the football team, the charities.
Yeah, man.
Kai is obviously we can send me all the links and I'll put them in the YouTube video. That you can follow to donate, follow the journey, and like I said, gain some new fans. Hopefully, that's actually what. Forget like the fight. Most of all, I hope that a lot of people watch this and that they feel like they've got something from it when we're talking about these things as well. We do the nitty gritty boxing, but then this 100%. Is a real conversation.
100%.
See what I'm saying? So,
just gonna make note of the fact, by the way, that we've had 2 DFC fighters on the trot so far. And they've both mentioned how important it is to have a really good partner in your life. Let's just not skate over that because the previous episode touched on a very similar thing. Yeah. So I'm starting to sense a little pattern here. Yeah. So I realise, lads, especially the fighters, make sure that you have a good woman in your life. Helps you keep yourself focused. I'm hearing it. I'm waiting to get a fighter here who's like, I'm single, no girl, don't need no bird. I'm waiting for that fighter to come. You ain't here yet.
Yeah.
You made her day now. Thank you.
Oh, listen, big up. Yeah.
Guys.
It makes sense.
Follow us, official DFC.
It's DFC official. The guys, no, it's not.
It's not.
It's not, you know. It is official DFC.
It's official DFC. Leave it to me. Let me do it. Official DFC _ on Instagram, Don's Fight Club podcast on YouTube. Please 100%. Don't listen to Gully because this is the second week he's got it wrong and I'm leaving it in. So yeah, official DFC _ for Instagram, Don's Fight Club podcast on YouTube. Kai's links to everything he's doing will be in the bio of the YouTube episode.
Yep.
So you can check out where you can find him, the work he's doing there. I've been Paolo.
Listen, apparently I've been Gully. Don't listen to me. I'll have people following fake pages and all sorts. Don't listen to me. And
we've been here with Kai.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Don's Fight Club podcast. We'll see you again very soon. Thank you.
DFC 7.
Thank you.
March the 2nd.